That score was around 20-30 percentile. So I was shattered with that and I was feeling very underconfident.
I faced a technical glitch during my exam, as a result of which I lost around 5 to 7 minutes.
Do not try to attempt to solve all four because you won't be able to.
I didn't study a single word.
While the LR sets, which are actually difficult, they look simple.
The CAT exam is just 10 days away, and if you're feeling that mix of panic, excitement and anxiety, trust me, you're not alone. These 10 days are all about strategy, confidence and running the last leg of the marathon smartly. It's easy to get lost in all the noise, which is why we are here for, to give you a practical, no-nonsense roadmap. And we have the perfect panel to do it, the recent CAT toppers who aced one section each. We have Manisha Saha, who scored 98.69 percentile in VARC. We have Kavya Singhal, who scored 98 percentile in Quants, and we have Srinjoy Roy, who aced DILR with 97 percentile. Welcome Srinjoy, Manisha and Kavya, and we are just about 10 days away from CAT, so I'd like to start from a very quick icebreaker. So what was your panic level 10 days before your exam on a scale of 1 to 10?
8, I would say.
Okay.
So for me it was 9 and I was just counting my percentiles in my dreams.
I would say it was a 6 because for the past few months I had studied and studied and studied, and now I just wanted to give the exam and get the result of it. So it has been a long journey that I have put all my efforts in. So I felt okay, let's do this. Let's not panic and mess up. Be calm.
Makes sense. So our goal today is to cut through all that noise, and while we are just 10 days about the away from the exam, let's start with a very big question, which is mocks. So how important are mocks 10 days before the exams, and how many mocks should one take? And should one take or not? Like what should be the strategy when you are just 10 days away from the exam?
Speaking of mocks, now it's not the time when you are studying something new. You're not like taking up new concepts. It's about strategy. What I had done during my last 10 days was, by now you get your slots. You know when your exam starts. Say my slot is slot number 2. My exam starts at 12 p.m. So I would preferably start taking up mocks at that period of time.
Okay.
To build a mindset. Every day before the mocks, before 10 days before my exam, I used to take one mock each day, starting at 12 p.m. and I would end by 2 p.m. Preferably, if one can, then one should take it out of their home, because at home you are in a comfortable situation. Your mindset is not right there. If possible, you go to a cyber cafe, you take the mock there. So what it will do is it will imbibe a sense of urgency. It will imbibe a sense of what it will really be on that particular day, because on the D-Day, that's what matters.
Okay. And when should one take their final full-length mock? Should it be like 5 days before the exam, 10 days before the exam, 2 days before the exam, and why?
Preferably, don't take any mock at least 1 day before the exam. It should be your rest day.
Okay.
Preferably 2 days before the exam. That should be your last mock, nothing after that.
Okay. And does anybody have a different take on that?
I think that 5 days before the exam should be the last mock.
Okay.
The last 5 days, you should not give mocks, because I think in case there's a bad outcome, it will affect your mind that, okay, what if I fail? What if I am not good? So whatever the last mock is, whatever the outcome is, you fine tune the findings. So that's why.
And what is the mindset behind taking the last mock? Are you still trying to learn new concepts, or are you just revising whatever you have done so far? What is it about?
Identifying gaps.
Okay.
So I have learned some things. So and I have learned a certain kind of sums or VRs or whatever it is. Now mocks are for testing. Where am I lacking? So whatever the outcome is, I would not take it as a label as I'm bad or I'm good. I would take it as data, find gaps and redo and learn upon it.
On the flip side of what to do, what should be not to do, like when you are 10 days away from your exam?
Okay. So the best thing that I followed was, I was like, it's just about learning the new concepts. if you're coming up with the new concepts in the last few 10 days that are going to be before the exam, that would like clutter your mind, because that won't having a good processing in your mind. So it's better to revise all the things, give mocks at the time when you have a CAT exam, as mentioned by Srinjoy. So that would be the best thing. Never learn a new topic or a new concept before 10 days of the exam.
Okay. Anything else that should be avoided in the last 10 days? Because a lot of students are confused about, they just want to get rid of a few things. Since you have, just 10 days left, they want to know what should I simply focus on.
Basically, you should always focus on your key strengths. You have like until now, if someone is aspiring for CAT 2025 on November 30th, which is scheduled. So you have taken a lot of mocks. You know what are your key strengths. Focus on them. Build on them. Rather than bringing up, as Kavya said, bringing up a new concept. It's always better to focus on your strength, build on your strengths. Practice, if you want, similar kind of sums for quants in the chapters which you feel that are your key strength points. So that no question in the exam comes should be left by you. Practice more and build upon your strengths rather than bringing up a new concept altogether.
You mentioned about chapters and topics, but how if I divide this into sections? Let's say someone has a very strong hold on 2 sections but is weak in, let's say, VARC. How should they go about it? Should they not touch VARC in those last 10 days at all because it's their weak point?
No, if we talk about sectionals, then every section has a different, like you have to score in each and every section. So it can't be like if you are good at quants and VRC, so you are focusing on that and you're leaving the LRDI. You can't do that. But if you are weak, then definitely give your time, approx 2 to 3 hours every day. Be consistent, so that you would develop a strategy like how you are going to move forward in exam. But you are talking about the strongest sections that you have, like daily practice them as well. Don't leave any kind of sectionals. Like you can think of leaving a single topic, but leaving section is not possible in CAT.
Okay. And let's talk about the biological clock. You're 10 days away from your exam. How important, first of all, is it important to align your sleep schedule according to your, exam slot?
Yes, definitely, obviously.
Okay. And how does one do that?
Because see, it's completely again coming back to the fact, depending upon your slot. If you're from slot 1 and you are a night owl like me, I was a night owl, and I was praying that I don't get slot 1 and I got slot 2, luckily. So if you're a person who wakes up late at night, studies, if you've got slot 1 as your exam time, then you should be aligning yourself according to slot 1. You should at least get good 5 to 7 hours of sleep at night, because otherwise on the D day you'll not be able to, like, you will wake up early but your brain will not be in the right position, or your mind will be active at that point of time, because usually it is not. So you need to align yourself. And again, coming back to the fact that at that particular like in these last few days, in this last mile, you have to focus on taking mocks or whatever you're doing mainly in between that particular slot, because it actually it's like exercising your mind to do a particular thing over and over again, so that I can deliver at the right time at the right place. So that is
exactly, which was my next question. Should one take the mocks exactly at the time of their...
obviously.
I think students are also wondering if they should study like 12 hours a day in the last leg of their CAT exam, and how should the final week look like? Should there be 10-12 hours of grinding, or should there be just revising concepts and
Please don't grind for 12 hours, I would say. I mean, study in a normal amount, let your body rest, take care of your health, and kindly do not try anything new. I mean, do not try a new food or a new weather, or do not go for an outing. Take care of your health, because think, you get a fever on the day of the exam. What are you going to do? Your 1 year of hard work is going to go down the drain if you cannot perform on that day.
So for me, it was like I woke up early in the morning and then I used to revise my concepts, whatever I have written in my notes. After that, I used to give the CAT exactly at the same time when my CAT was scheduled. Like I used to give mocks at that time. So it was an afternoon slot. So 12 to 2, I used to give mocks. And after 12 to 2, 2 to 4, I used to do the analysis of the same mock. Then I used to chill out for a little bit of 2 to 3 hours. Again, the same process. 1 mock, 2 hours of analysis. So it was kind of, for me, 10 hours of grinding was there in that 24 hours of schedule every day before 10 days to CAT.
Okay, but did it help?
Yeah, definitely it helps you. Like for me, it helped me. Like if you give mocks, it boosts your confidence if you are utilizing that mock in a very good way, if you are extracting information, not getting distracted or not getting like shattered or feeling underconfident. So if it's like that, then you should avoid. But if you can think that you're learning from them, then it's well and good to give the mocks.
Okay, and since you mentioned about confidence, my next question is actually about, how do you keep your mock from destroying your confidence? How do you take a bad mock?
It's a very simple tech actually. Virat Kohli, keeping in mind all his stats, anything and everything which he has done throughout his career, he can also get out on a duck on a bad day. So it's completely all right to have a bad mock. But the main thing is you have to analyze it. As Kavya was saying, you have to check where you went wrong. Was it a concept which you are familiar of? You have done a mistake in that? Then you have to please check why you are doing so, and check that it does not happen on the D day. Also, if there is something new which you have done a mistake in, for example, you have done a mistake in a quants question, so and it's a new concept, then do one thing, take note of that, what is it, but don't delve deep into it. You don't need to learn anything new in the last 10 days, as Manisha was saying. So,
Okay.
So there was another story for me, like definitely bad mock happens with each and every one of us. So it was like I gave around 50 mocks. So out of that, the last 5th mock was the worst mock I ever had that score.
Okay.
So that score was around 20-30 percentile. So I was shattered with that and I was feeling very underconfident after thinking that. But the main thing is, it's you who have to make yourself understand that it is not what you would be performing in the CAT day. It's just about your learning. So I just make myself like, okay, it happened. I spent around 3 hours just analyzing that mock, like why it happened. And it literally helped me out.
I was actually about to ask that, since you're all toppers sitting here, how did your final mock go and what did you learn from that?
It was bad. It was around 60 percentile, and
Okay.
I was thinking, what am I doing? But then I thought, it's all right. Let us see what happens, what all mistakes I made, and I saw that there were a few new concepts. I thought, okay, keep it aside. And then I checked what all mistakes were there, and that's it. Nothing much.
Okay. So, what exactly helped you keeping your confidence intact?
The previous mocks that I have given.
Okay.
I mean,
so you knew
Yeah.
I have gone through these concepts and I know what I
Yes.
have done. So it's just one mock that went bad.
So the
And
thing
you-
is, one bad mock is not deciding who am I or what am I capable of. So
Right.
I have given 5 good mocks, so 160 percentile is nothing.
Okay. But that was your last mock. So did you
Yeah.
give another try
no,
after that?
I thought let
Okay.
us not exhaust my brain.
Okay.
Whatever happens, happens.
Cool. Sounds good. And now we'll deep dive into strategy for each section, like your all section wise toppers sitting here 98, 98, 97 percentile. So I would want to start with VARC first. Okay, Manisha, so you got 98.69 percentile in VARC. And for students who are struggling a lot with reading comprehensions, what would be your final tip for the last 10 days? One best advice that you would, want to give them to ace this section?
Yeah, this is something I told myself too, because the key to this is choosing the right passage to solve. There will be different kinds of thing. I chose the ones which are narrative and which were related to social studies because they're easy to read and understand. So what I would do, first I would read the question and then I would read the passage. So if I get the answer, I just mark it and move on to the next one.
Okay.
So that is how. Also, there will be 4 passages, right? Do not try to attempt to solve all 4 because you won't be able to. So just solve 2 or 3 maximum and make sure it's right. Do not mark a maybe answer. Mark only those which you are sure about because there's negative marking.
Okay. And reading is the key to the CAT exam. So in the last 10 days, should one focus on, going through or reading all these articles, or should one focus on just attempting RCs from these mocks and test papers?
I would say most of the focus should be on solving the RCs. Like read 1 or 2 articles a day, but like this is something that I did. I would see a RC and I would try to understand, like by reading a few lines, if it is solvable easily or not.
Okay.
So what happened? My brain got trained to reading RCs and like predicting if I can solve it easily or not, and then I would attempt it.
And how does one know that would I be able to solve this or not? Do you go about reading the questions first or reading the first 4 lines of the paragraph?
Read a line, skip a few, read another line. If the language is understandable,
Okay.
if there are no less or few complicated words, go and solve it.
Let's talk about verbal ability, and many students see it as a gamble, honestly. So, is there a way to strategically prepare for this particular section?
So for verbal ability, like for example, let's take para jumbas. What is the thing? Find the odd one out in the 4 sentences. Now don't go around looking for the structural odd one out. Go look for the sentence that changes the theme of the rest 3. Another thing that we can do, so there's odd one out that comes. To find the odd one out, pair them up. And if you see out of 2, out of the both pairs, 2 connect and 1 doesn't. So of course one of the others is going to, and select the category or find it, and that is the answer for odd one out.
Okay, that's interesting. And if I were to talk about the day of the exam,
Yeah.
how did you strategize for those 40 minutes of VARC section? And secondly, how did you decide how many reading comprehensions to do and which ones to do?
So I had made it. I had made the plan earlier itself that I am not going to attempt more than 3 passages,
Okay.
because I knew that since it's 40 minutes, I need enough time to understand and answer and recheck once.
Mhm.
So instead of going by quantity, I went by quality. What I did was I again selected whichever passages I want to do. Then I read the question, solved it, and then I think I had 10 minutes approximately left, and I went back and checked. Yeah, so that was the strategy that I applied.
Okay, and do you also go about reading all these first and deciding which one to attempt first, or do you just read the first one and decide I don't want to do this or I want to do this and then move to the next one?
I go one by one. I see a passage. If I find that, okay, I can solve this, I solve it. And then next one I go. If it's if it's a little tough, I keep it on pause, go to the next one. And in
Okay.
case I do not have options left, I come back.
Okay, so you don't scan all of them first and then
No,
decide which one to go.
I would lose out on time.
All right, makes sense.
So a quick tip for this thing, what I used to do is, before attempting any mock, actually I had to travel to attempt a mock. It was in my tuition, so that's why. What I used to do is, during my traveling thing, I used to take up any one Aeon essay and start reading it.
Okay.
What it does is, it starts making, it's like a warm-up for your brain.
Mhm.
Then now you have to get in and start reading. Because you'll find that any time when you are attempting a mock, as the aspirants may have for so many months now, your brain does not gets a switch on button just like that as and when you start reading it. So what it does is, reading an Aeon essay just before the actual attempting a mock or the real exam as well, it actually is like a warm up for your brain. You get your brain gets the hint that, okay, I have done this now. Now it's a second thing which I am going to do is the main passage I am going to read. That's the same thing I had done for my final exams as well. So this is a thing which used to work for me. It might work for you as well.
For me as well?
For the aspirants as well.
Okay, Srinjoy, so 97 percentile in DILR, which is like a make or break section. So what is the strategy in the last 10 days for this section? How do you go about data interpretation and logical reasoning?
For me, it were 2 basic fundas. First thing is, when you start with the paper, like when the DILR section begins, I used to click on the question paper mode. I used to do a quick scan for 5 minutes of the passages which are there. More or less, there will be 4 passages. So you scan the 4 passages, and the second one that is ranking them. Ranking them according to your three criteria. Number 1 is relevance, whether you have done similar type of passages during the mocks or not. Second thing is the information which is mentioned, which is a key thing. If the information regarding whatever set it is, for example, if I am considering a LR set, in most of the cases, the information mentioned in LR sets are open-ended. Like, if you are getting a clue, say, who won the match, A won the match. There are few more possibilities, like did A win the match, considering the fact B and C does not win, D does not win. So there are multiple possibilities in case of implicit information. You need to keep yourself away from those questions because it might create a problem in between solving the set. Go for questions, go for sets which have explicit data mentioned. heavily data based questions. And the trick here is those sets look very complicated over the top. It looks very complicated. While the LR sets, which are actually difficult in real nature, who have open-ended information, they look simple.
Okay.
So that's something that's a very tricky thing. You have to get used to it. So 3 things: relevance, information, and third thing is time based. You jot down A, B, C, D. There are 4 sets. You jot down B and C will be the sets which I am going to choose. Now, out of B and C, if you think that B will take more time, attempt it later. Take C first.
Okay.
So this is the thing which I used to do.
You mentioned actually both the things, time and selection. So
Yeah.
what do you optimize more for, speed or selection?
Well, selection first,
Okay.
because it can, as you say, make or break your section.
Right.
In DILR, the main thing is selection, because you would never like to start a set and at the middle point, after you've wasted 10-15 minutes on the set, you think like, no, this was not the set which I should have chosen. I need to shift to another set. So this is not the right thing which should happen with you. So selection is the first thing, then comes time.
Okay. It's 20th November today, right? And we
Yeah.
are 10 days away from the exam. So how should students prepare for DILR now? Should they go about practicing 2-3 new sets every day, or should they just focus on, revising the difficult ones which they found?
See, if you go to any online, there are a lot of websites which give you practice DILR sets. More or less, you will find things in similar lines. I would say go to practice those similar line sets, not the same sets which you have practiced beforehand, because there is a thing called memory muscle. So muscle memory, like for me, it used to work that whenever I used to go back practicing some difficult set which I couldn't attempt previously, I used to remember the answers, and it was not at all challenging for me. So what I used to do is practice new sets, but those in similar lines with what you have already done in so many months. That's the thing I can suggest.
Okay. And let's zoom out a little and focus on the first 5 minutes of the section. How do you scan the paper? How do you identify the green flags and red flags, if I would call in your language?
Yeah, actually, first thing is your paper seems way too easy if you just click on the question paper button.
Okay.
That is the thing which is just visible in front of your eyes, but most of the aspirants, I would say around 70% of the aspirants, don't even click on that button.
Okay.
Check it. It's like the total thing is in there. It's like a question paper. You just need to scan. Okay, this is the set. Now, there's the 3 criteria which I mentioned. Number 1 is relevance. Have I ever done similar kind of sets or not? Number 2, information, implicit or explicit. Are the information given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are they open-ended or close-ended? You can choose a mix of things which are open and close-ended, or only open-ended ones, but don't ideally go for close-ended ones. Lastly, it will be the time.
Okay.
If you find a data set, heavy database set, and one with the graphs, I ideally used to find graphs questions to be solvable with ease and keeping the time constraint.
Okay.
So it's easier and faster to solve the graph related questions rather than only data related questions which I have to calculate a lot. So you need to choose accordingly.
So how much time would you finally give a set before you abandon it?
Well, ideally 5 to 7 minutes, not more than that. It should not happen that you start, may God forbid, it should not happen with anyone that you start with the set and you then finally abandon it because your 7 to 8 minutes, whatever you have put into that set, it gets wasted.
And what was your final trigger to move on?
So coming back to the LR set example, which I was saying, say the hint 1 or the first clue or the first information and second information, it's okay. I can relate with it. I can understand, okay, now we always plot something on a table format. I can relate it, okay, now where can this information fit in? When I'm going to option 3, I can see that there is a dilemma for me to where should I fit the option 3 clue. It's not being clearly understandable. Where can I use this clue as? Or there is a dilemma like, is it working here or there? Or there is some difficulty for me in understanding the language of the clue, because some clues are twisted and turned into a different, presented in a different way. You might not be able to understand or figure out the language. So in that case, it should be a no-no. You should not be sticking to that particular set because you have chosen it and grinding it more and more, because it will create problems for you. go to the second option. If this is a set B out of the ABCD, this is the set B you have chosen right now, and you're stuck in that. Please stop doing that. Go to set C, finish that, and come here, because there is always that should be an insurance set, because in DILR, a lot of people don't even get this opportunity of doing one set 100% correctly. So if you just do one set correctly, your past data has shown that it will get you at least 80 percentile for in the CAT exam. So you need to get your insurance set right, and then go for other sets which will actually add up or maximize your score in the DILR section.
Okay, one last question. Right, what should they focus on in the LR section specifically to identify that these are some particular set of questions which are relatively very easy when it comes to logical reasoning?
Now I would say that go with your strengths.
Okay.
It actually depends person to person. I am a person who likes data sets. You can be a person who likes to solve LR sets, and you do it gleefully and easily.
Okay.
So check which type of questions have you attempted and correctly attempted in the past 6, 7, 8 months of your CAT journey. Check those mocks. Which are the questions which you have attempted? Identify what was the thing which triggered that, yeah, this is the set and this is why I should attempt it, this is why I shouldn't be attempting it. Out of the 4 questions, out of the 3 questions, rest of the 3 questions.
Makes sense. I think this is very helpful for students who are struggling, especially with the DLR section.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, right. Okay, now let's move to Kavya.
Yes, sir.
So, Kavya, you scored 98 percentile in Quants.
8, sir.
Okay. The syllabus is very vast, and what should be the absolute focus for Quants in the last 10 days?
So we all know that syllabus is very vast for quant section, and the arithmetic and algebra consist of like most of the questions out of those 24 questions. So I would suggest that focus on both this topic as much as you can, but don't leave any other topic. Like if I talk about geometry or probability, there are chances that there might be a question that's very easy and just need a conceptual knowledge. So suppose I got a question in my CAT like for the geometry that just required the formula. So if I could have studied that in my like preparation, just the basic formula for geometry, probability and other topics, I would be able to do so, right? So definitely focus more on algebra and arithmetic because they are on the major segment, but don't leave any topic in the exam. That would be my like advice to each and everyone who is going to attempt this CAT.
Okay, but does it not waste a lot of time if you probably are not sure which section I am very confident about, and but then you go about doing all the algebra stuff as well plus arithmetic stuff as well?
Now I would say like if you are coming through a long journey, then you might have prepared something, but like for geometry, it would just take 2 to 3 hours to just remember all the formulas. So I'm not talking about to read all the concept. Just go through with the formulas of probability, geometry and other topic, so that you would be having an idea if something probability questions come very basic, so at least you know what to do.
Okay. And since you mentioned about formulas, so everyone is just going about revise your formulas, check your formulas,
Right.
learn your formulas. What is the strategy behind sticking to those formulas? Do you read it in a list every day or do you write them down? How do you go about it?
Okay. So for me, I had a small notebook in which I used to write each and every formula, and I used to keep updating it as well. Like whenever I'm going through with any kind of mock, if I got to know like any new formula, I just write it down in my notebook. But I would say just revising it again and again won't help you much. But the main thing that would help you is the practical implication. So if you're writing a formula, that's okay, write it. But when you are doing mock, try implementing those formulas. Try solving that question with 2 to 3 different formulas after your mock.
Okay.
So you would have a better idea, like when you will implement those formulas, they will get stuck in your mind. But if you are doing just overview, you won't be remembering those in the exams.
Okay. I think you have already answered half of my next question. So many students remember the formulas, but what they or where they struggle with is in the application of those formulas. So how do you build that question selection instinct for your question for your points?
Okay. So for talking about like if you are sitting in a CAT and it happens with most of us, like we get blank during exams, we don't know the formula, we know that we have done this question. So for that time, just skip that question. Don't like muggle up with that question. But like to avoid this situation that it doesn't happen with you, I opted for a strategy like when I used to give my mocks. I created an environment in which there was no disturbance, no phone, no noise, nothing. So I put myself in a situation that was like I was in under pressure. So my mind started working in that way, in silent environment, solving questions. So that strategy, if you apply in exam, your mind will react to those sometimes. But
Okay.
if you are stuck with somewhere, don't give extra time. I did that, but never gave like 30 more than 30 seconds. If you're not getting that, just skip to the next question. That's the best thing you can do.
Okay. And for those 40 minutes of your quant section, did you have a 3-round strategy which is like easy, medium, hard, or did you go topic by topic?
Okay, so for me, like quants is my favorite subject.
Okay.
So I was choosing questions randomly. It's me, like I used to do the same thing.
Mhm.
So what happened, like in the starting only, I was like I already mentioned, go through with each and every topic. So
Okay.
I read each and every topic, whether it's geometry, probability, algebra, arithmetic, everything. So I just found the questions that are doable. Now in quants, what happens? Like 80% of the questions you can identify them. Like is it doable or not? So I just used to do that. I catch the low hanging fruits from them. I
Mhm.
do 8 to 9 questions. After that, if I have 10-15 minutes, I give 10 minutes to like solving other questions if I have time. If
Mhm.
not, then well and good, because I've already done 8 to 10 questions. Now, last 2 to 3 minutes, what I used to do is, because in quants, sometimes I do careless mistakes. I marked something wrong answer. I correct, like I calculated it correct. So what I do, I just in last 2 to 3 minutes, I go through with those questions and just see if I've marked the correct answer or not. So that
Okay.
was like how I used to follow that 40-minute strategy for me.
Okay. Now my question is to all of you. First of all, thank you for simplifying quants for all of them. And my next question to you is: today is 29th Saturday, and tomorrow is CAT exam. What are you doing right now? Are you taking mocks? Are you watching a movie? What's the plan?
Okay, for me, like honestly speaking, I keep it very simple. Before any exam, I keep it very simple. Like I don't go anywhere. I don't talk to people. I just went to temple,
Okay.
like for a few minutes, came back. I didn't study a single word. That's how I feel. Like I'm saving my energy,
Okay.
and I will implement that energy tomorrow. So,
But does it also make you anxious that I haven't studied for last 24 hours and
no,
it's my
I
exam?
already studied for past so many months that
Okay.
I feel like okay, now it's time to relax and chill out, and we'll implement everything tomorrow if everything will good.
What are you doing one day before exam?
So 24 hours before the exam, I'm home. I'm having home cooked meals, not going outside, making sure I'm away from harm. I'm not doing much of studying, although I would revise the formulas once
Okay.
to have them in my mind so that I don't forget those.
So formulas is one thing which you should be revising on the last day, so that this is the
I
thing which is likely to slip away.
It is very likely to forget a certain formula.
Mhm.
Maybe not the ones which we have practiced for months, but the ones like you mentioned, the ones we have picked up while giving mocks.
Okay.
So like, give it a revise. What is the harm in that?
Okay.
But don't go on solving.
Nothing more than that.
Yeah, do not solve.
Okay.
Solve whatever next day.
It's a chill out day actually for you. You
Okay.
have done enough for the last so many months, whatever you have practiced, that one day won't be changing it so much that you will crop up to 110 percentile. That won't be the case. So it's chill out day. You spend your time with the family, you chill, because your mind also needs to recollect everything what you have done till now. It's a lot of hustle and bustle which has gone through. So that's the thing. I did.
Okay. So all of you were sort of chilling out and relaxing on the last day.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 of you stayed home and 1 went out for complete adventure.
Though if someone wants to study, they may,
Yeah.
but don't overburden yourself
Yeah.
on the very last.
Okay. So it's advisable to relax on the last day
Yeah.
and trust on whatever you have studied so far in the last few months. Let's talk about in between moments on the exam day, right? You are pursuing you are completing your VARC section and you just got done with it. Now you have to switch to the DILR. How do you make that transition, and especially when you feel that VARC didn't go right?
Yeah, for me, I can answer this question because my main aim was VRC. It was
Okay.
not DILR.
Okay.
I had practiced a lot for VRC. It was one of my strongest section. What happened was I faced a technical glitch. A technical error was there during my exam, as a result of which I lost around 5 to 7 minutes of my VRC section,
Okay.
which was critical for me. So the scores which I wanted to go for, I knew that I won't be getting so high scores because my attempts were less
Mhm.
actually. So what I told to myself was that this is gone, and what any aspirant should be doing. So God forbid it doesn't happen with anyone. But if your VARC section has not gone as planned, then you need to just switch off and switch on yourself. It should be like, this is gone. You can't drag your VARC section's pressure into DILR. It's easy to say, but being an aspirant, you should be able to implicate this during your D-Day thing. So it's like your VARC marks won't reflect on your DILR marks during your final score sheet. So the same thing happens here.
Right.
If you can do that, if you can switch on and switch off, a better section is waiting for you, as it did for me, and as I could successfully come into this institution. So it is just like that.
A better practice it during mocks.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, from your own experience as well, what was one thing that went wrong on the exam day and how did you cope up with that? And any actionable advice for, aspirants for?
So the center that I was allotted, there were some infrastructural issues going on, and hence there was a lot of disturbance coming from the background. So what I told, initially I was getting disturbed a lot. So I took 1 minute, I gathered my mind and I told myself, just calm down, concentrate on what is on the screen and do it. Do not look at other people or other sounds. Do not get distracted.
What is that one thing that you carried with you on the exam day that helped you or gave you a certain advantage, to help you relax down, help you, ease down your anxiety?
For me, I carried the positiveness, I would say, because it helped me to keep myself calm and composed during my exam. And I would suggest everyone to carry that, because there may be a situation that is not going according to you. Just don't panic, be positive, be calm, and that would be helpful for you. So just carry that during that day.
Anything?
For me, it was a tip which was given to me by one of my seniors. It's a 2-hour exam, so have something which will give you stamina. I had 2 bananas because it gave me a prolonged period of stamina to write all those 2 exams, because it's actually hectic.
Right.
2 hours it's just the exam. For 1 hour you have to sit there to do the verification and all. So it's a pressurized process for you. Keeping in mind you're prepared for so many days. So have some natural foods like which will give you stamina, and avoid caffeinated drinks which spike up your insulin just then, and because your quant section will go haywire if you do that. So that's what I would suggest you.
Makes sense. True. And one last question to all three of you. Today is the CAT exam, and if you were to send a text message to all the CAT aspirants, what would you send?
You have got it. You have studied for months. Just be calm, composed, and read and answer. Do not overthink, understand the question and do what is required.
Okay.
I would say to all the aspirants that you have already done all the hard work that you were supposed to do. And now it's the time just to believe yourself, have some confidence within you, and just go with the flow. Everything will be fine.
Okay.
The one thing which I would like to say is the same thing which one of my mentors who had guided me throughout my CAT journey told me, that you have got this. You have given so many mocks. You have, as Kavya said, you have taken up all the strides to practice, to give your best for so many months. You know how to do this. Just give your very best. But if things not go as planned on the D-Day, focus on quality over quantity.
You've exceeded the character limit for the text message. But no worries. Cool. Thank you so much, guys, for taking out time for this and for your actionable advice. And I hope all the CAT aspirants will score as much as you, at least. And thank you so much again. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All the best to all the CAT aspirants, and do subscribe if you want more videos on ZAT, NMAT and GMAT. See you in the next episode.